You know one of the major problems with some of the anime these days? Over-exaggerated trailers. I mean, I get it, don't get me wrong. I totally understand the trailer has to look good in order for it to pull in the fans, right? But there's a problem when the trailer ends up being more of a thrill than the actual work itself. Goblin Slayer was a series that I introduced at the beginning of last fall in hopes of it being an excellent way to fill the void that was left after watching the third season of Overlord. However, after thoroughly watching the series completely through, I have to apologize to you all because Goblin Slayer is nowhere near the quality that Overlord is. But that being said, Goblin Slayer isn't half bad either. The story takes place in a fantasy world where there have been reports of goblins attacking adventurers and then kidnapping and brutalizing the female members. However, since goblins are normally seen as very weak, insignificant, and small monsters among the rest, no adventurous party really takes these stories too seriously. That wasn't until a young starting priestess gets invited on her first quest to hunt goblins and finds out firsthand just how brutal they really are. Thinking that she won't be able to make it out of this situation alive, she finds herself being saved by an armored figure that goes by the title of Goblin Slayer. A silver-plated adventurer whose personal vendetta is to get rid of all the goblins. She then decides to team up with the Goblin Slayer, and then later they are also accompanied by a dwarf, a high elf girl, and a lizard man who also join in on the hunt. Real identities unknown. And the lack of real names in the series is one of the main reasons I found it really hard to be discussing it. But that being said, Goblin Slayer does have some really good qualities to it. For one, the story does a really good job going over the reasons as to why Goblin Slayer is so obsessed with hunting goblins. And if you think about it, it makes perfectly good sense because he's doing a job that no other adventurer is willing to do because most of them see goblins as very weak and not worth their time. But because Goblin Slayer knows the true nature of the goblins and is willing to do these hunts, it makes it a very justified and noble action. The story also did an excellent job introducing a much darker and craftier side of goblins that I believe a lot of fantasy lovers haven't seen before. And the strategies that Goblin Slayer came up with during his hunts were very innovative, and the teamwork between him and his followers was excellent, which made watching the strategies get executed very entertaining to watch. Not to mention, the art and character designs were beautiful. All the characters were very well detailed, and the animation, which was handled by Studio White Fox, was absolutely incredible. However, there were some parts in the story that really needed to be explained. For example, we're told that Goblin Slayer had a mentor when he was a child. However, it's not told how he met his mentor, who his mentor is, or the biggest elephant in the room, which I'm not even going to go into. But if you've already seen the series, read the manga or light novel, you know exactly what I'm referencing to here. I also felt that the series was lacking in some content because for 12 episodes, it really didn't sell on the dark theme that it had promised. Don't get me wrong, there were some great moments in it, but there needed to be some more darker and gruesome hunts and casualties had. However, we are going to be getting a sequel, so hopefully the second season will be a lot darker, and I'm honestly hoping that in the second season, we'll get to have the details about his mentor explained, and also get to see more into Goblin Slayer's past. Now, my thoughts on watching is to wait until the second season comes out. That way you can watch the first and second together and have more of the story, but if you're interested in going ahead and watching the first season, you can find it on Crunchyroll. And this is going to conclude it for today's review, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like, and if you've already seen the first season of Goblin Slayer, let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Fellow manga and light novel readers, please no spoilers. And until next time, I'm Kei of Otaku Deity. Catch you all in the next one.
All my body exposed, marked by your shadow.